In this video, we're going to talk about some of the backlash that has now been responded to from Bungie. A couple days ago was responded towards the seasonal model and how a bright future is coming for the next couple of seasons. More importantly, season 20, 21, and 22, and how the seasonal model this season will play out. Of course, this season's only around 2 to 3 months long, I believe 12 weeks, so it's not a long season, so it's going to be pretty chill. But once we get into Lightfall, we're going to start, of course, hoping for a better year than what happened this year, as that will be the last year before the final shape, and that's probably one of the most critical years in terms for Bungie. But as of right now, 3 hours from now, the Game Awards will be live, and I will be streaming it here on YouTube, so be sure to go check that out, subscribe, like, and just see me react to some of the cool rewards, some of the cool game awards, of course, and hoping that Bungie can snag a W in either Best Ongoing Game or Best Community Support. That would be awesome if they can get a W. As well, there will be a Lightfall trailer launching live. Moreover, Bungie has actually responded to some of the latest backlash. Now, I know the community has been all over the place recently in terms of the seasonal model, and I have to agree with some of those points that the seasonal model has been pretty not the best, and I will hope, and with the Bungie responding to this, it really looks like that Bungie is planning for a brighter future. However, again, they are a studio, and they are about 4 to 5 months ahead of the due time. So, as of they confirmed in the tweet that I will say in a second or so, they confirmed that season 20 and Lightfall is wrapping up with things, and they're working on season 21 right now, which is probably going to release around May and June, and that is halfway through development. So we won't see a lot of these changes, a lot of the feedback that that they of course been hearing about until later in year 6. But still, to know that we have been getting, of course, this feedback heard, it is something to look at. But I wanted to talk about what Joe Blackburn, the game director for Destiny 2, has finally said about some of the backlash that has been going around. And there has been, of course, that why is Bungie not responding to some of the things that the community has been saying all last season? They've been pretty quiet, and I, in my belief, think they've been working more focused on Lightfall in Season 19 and, of course, the future of the game. But now knowing that they have been actually looking at some of the things that the community has been saying is really positive. So Joe Blackburn tweeted out that he just wanted to step in and say that he has been excited to put some more creative risk in seasonal progressions, but of course it will take time for the feedback to catch up with the dev cycle. Moreover, coming up next this season is Season 20 and Lightfall, while Guardian Ranks and Neo Muna Destination Pursuits are going to shake things up. On the seasonal pursuit side, our major focus is reducing complexity and improving the synergy between your seasonal pursuits and the rest of the game. Season 21 is at its halfway mark of development, like I said, and the team is currently looking at ways to differentiate progression aside from having a more novel activity setup in the works. Finally, as the last bugs for Season 20 and Lightfall are wrapping up, we're hardening our 2023 plans, and we're working to make improvements in the space every season next year. There's still novelty, thematic variety, and new ways to progress your character coming to Destiny over the next several months. But while we work to use this feedback in our future releases, I wanted to make sure that everybody knows that your words are not falling on deaf ears. So it is great to see some positive energy with this. Of course, the seasonal model has been just a bit crappy the last couple of seasons. You got the season story that takes around 6 to 7 weeks, and then you, of course, do seasonal challenges. You wait usually for a pursuit activity to launch in the first 2 weeks, like a dungeon or raid. You grind it, and then there's really nothing big to do. The core activities have been just not getting the love I've deserved. I did make a video on the Strike playlist, and I hope to make another video on Gam and Crucible if there's any news coming to those playlists in the future. But there's no anything with these. Of course, Crucible, this year we got in some Crucible maps, some returning, one new one. But with strikes, we didn't receive any new strikes in year 5, and that's a really sucky spot. But there's a bright future with strikes, having now a new playlist in the works, and of course, bringing some of the old strikes back and giving more attention to them. But other than that, there really hasn't been something too crazy, because the seasonal pursuit is just the same goddamn activity or something, normal towards it, like Battlegrounds. There's nothing too crazy with that. A lot of people like them, but some people just think it's the same reskin type thing. There's the upgrade system. of getting upgrades and collecting materials and doing seasonal challenges for other upgrades, and then just the vendor progression has been very bad in my opinion. But again, like a lot of other YouTubers can agree, it hasn't been the best. And of course, the grind system in terms of the weapons. If you make a weapon really, really good and you return it every season, now we're getting returned Destiny 1, Destiny 2, Year 1 weapons, Year 2 weapons. And there's some people who don't like that want everything new, or they feel like they're bringing back everything so the meta keeps on changing, and it's harder for Bungie to keep the balance between those weapons, so the meta always gets crowded. And then, of course, the bugs that keep happening with the season, like events like Social of Heroes, like the bugs that with like Rose not dropping, the bugs that has been happening around the community really suck, and stuff that really just doesn't put a good flavor in my mouth, like this. Like, really? This is the only bug that I have that I just really want away. It's freaking me out. But again, the seasonal model is just the same, and it has been throughout all year 5. So hopefully now, with year 6 finally getting its, first, sense of development already done, now they're focusing more on what Bungie and what the community has to say in the last couple of months and last couple of weeks. I know Plunder was not a good season, and Haunted was considered a season of burnout. So the last 2 seasons have really gave, more of a sense to Bungie that they need to change their seasonal model going forward. We of course have 2 more years of this. We have year 6 and we have year 7, and Bungie is hoping to do more changes going into year 6, so these next 2 years can go even smoother. A lot of people like the old sense where there was only 3 seasons in the year, like the annual pass when Activision was partnering up, because they didn't need to focus all their time making 4 seasons smaller. They would focus their time making 3 seasons, and then there's some ideas going out that they only need to do 2 seasons, and they have to have 1 major expansion a year and then 1 minor expansion halfway through the year, and then do that in a repeat cycle. Some people think that combining all the seasons to 1 minor expansion is a much more better way, because then you have 2 things to look at, and it's more better, as people want the quality to be better than the quantity. So Bungie people in the community, just feel like the seasons have been feeling rushed, burnt out, and a lot of people don't really like that. And I'm not saying that Bungie is rushing all the seasons, but again, some seasons feel like 3 months ahead. It's the same thing. From Risen to Haunted, not a lot of things really changed, and those 3 months we were hoping for major changes to happen in Haunted. I'm not saying Haunted was totally bad, but you understand that there was little things in there that didn't go too crazy. So, moving forward, Bungie plans going into the season 21 and 22 that they're going to look at a lot of these changes into deviating into new progression ways. I don't know how much they're going to deviate and what they're planning on. We can only speculate, but already this season we can see some things coming into fruition, as the last 2 seasons, or last 3 seasons, not including Witchqueen, we've seen only 2 exotics and only like 1 little pinnacle activity. This season we of course have a dungeon tomorrow, and then we have a secret exotic mission, and then that exotic mission will have a new exotic that will be very different from any exotic we've had in the past, as it will have multiple catalysts, and it's very interesting on how that will go. We of course have a very cool narrative coming up, and I can't wait for the story to progress. And then next season, of course, will be Lightfall, which will be a major expansion, having Neo Muna and definitely a buttload of new content. And of course, right after that, we will get into season 21, which again will be in May and June, and that's when we'll first start seeing the sense of our, I wouldn't say complaints, but usually our feedback to, of course, Bungie, and then hopefully by the middle of year 6, we'll finally see all of that coming into reality. But yeah, guys, that was just a short video on some of the now new announcements on the seasonal model going forward into year 5 and the year 6. I hope you guys did enjoy. Again, subscribe and like if you guys haven't already, and please be sure to check me out in like a couple hours from now if you're watching this at launch, to look at me reacting to the Game Awards, because that's gonna be a little stream we're gonna have just for tonight. We don't really stream on Thursdays, so it's a little awesome thing to have. I hope you guys do enjoy this video. I hope you guys did subscribe and like, as it would mean a lot, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye, guys.